Before we begin, take 1 second and subscribe to the Stoic Guidance, because here, every story you hear strengthens your mind, your dignity, and your inner discipline. Now, listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you is something every woman needs to hear at least once in her life. Imagine this. You're standing in a moment where your heart is soft, your emotions are awake, and the world around you is loud. And then someone, maybe a man you trusted, maybe someone who pretends to care, tries to cross a boundary you never agreed to. He pressures you, manipulates you, or twists his words to make you feel guilty, as if your no is something negotiable. But here's the truth. The world rarely tells women, a boundary you set with honesty is not up for debate. A line you draw with self-respect is not meant to be erased by someone else's desire. Let me take you into a story of a woman who learned the art of unbreakable self-control. She once believed that saying no makes you rude. She believed that declining a man's wish makes you cold. She believed that protecting her purity, her dignity, her future, and her peace would make her appear distant. But one day, everything changed. She met an older woman, calm, composed, dignified, who told her a single line that transformed her life. A woman who cannot guard her boundaries will always hand her peace into someone else's hands. That sentence hit her harder than anything she'd ever heard. She realized something powerful, something Stoics have taught for centuries. What belongs to you, your body, your choices, your honor, your dignity, is yours to protect, not his to take, not society's to judge, not emotions to compromise. So she began practicing a kind of inner discipline the Stoics lived by. Whenever a man tried to pressure her, she didn't respond with anger. She didn't argue. She didn't explain. She simply became still, calm, firm. And from that calmness came a strength that shook him more than any fight ever could. Because a silent, confident no carries more power than a loud argument. Let me tell you what she learned, and what every woman needs to understand. When a man tests your boundaries, he is not testing your kindness. He is testing how much of yourself you are willing to give up to keep him close. And the moment you give up your dignity to please someone, you lose the very respect you hope to earn. So she mastered a simple Stoic strategy. Refuse without hostility. Stand firm without aggression. Protect yourself without apologizing. The Stoic woman says, calmly and clearly, I don't allow this. I value myself. Not because she wants control, but because she understands her worth. And here's a secret very few people admit. A man who truly respects you will never push your boundaries. A man who wants what is good for you will never lead you toward regret. A man who values your dignity will never pressure you for anything forbidden, sinful, or dishonorable. But the man who tries to test you, he's not looking for love. He's looking for advantage. And that is exactly where your strength must rise. The Stoics taught that temptation loses its power the moment your values become stronger than your desires. So the woman in our story made a rule for herself. My decisions will honor my future, not my moment. She stopped caring about being liked. She cared about being respected. She stopped worrying about being sweet. She focused on being principled. She stopped fearing the loss of a man. She feared losing herself. And that changed everything. Her confidence grew. Her presence grew. Her clarity grew. When she walked into a room, people could feel her boundaries without her saying a word. Not because she was arrogant, but because she finally understood the value of her own soul. And now, I want you to picture yourself in her place. Imagine becoming a woman whose no comes from wisdom. A woman who feels no shame protecting her dignity. A woman whose heart is guided by faith, not pressure. A woman strong enough to walk away from anything that risks her honor. This is the essence of Stoicism for women. Strength without aggression, grace without weakness, firmness without cruelty, self-respect without apology. And here's the beautiful part. The moment she mastered this power, life gave her something unexpected. The men who once tried to test her lost interest. The man who truly valued her stepped forward, and her life became quieter, safer, more peaceful. Because when you respect yourself deeply, the world learns how to treat you. So whenever someone tries to push your boundaries, remember this. If a man cannot honor your purity, your principles, and your peace, then he does not deserve a place in your life. Not now, not ever. Hold your dignity the way a queen holds her crown, not in fear of losing it, but in certainty of what it represents. And every time you feel pressure, remember, your no is not a sign of weakness. It is the shield of your future, the protection of your honor, and the voice of your soul. Stay firm, stay calm, stay guided. This is the Stoic Guidance.